We hear the water. The nice and quiet of the water. Oh, door's closed. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third place match of Master League Qualifier 2. And the north hand side we got Quiritz, who was just giving it his all versus nr2, but in the end he didn't manage to pull through and lost 2-0 in his semi-final. And his opponent in the south hand side is JibberJabberJobber, who just played versus Loveness in his semi-final. Also went down 2-0. It was some heated battling. Looks like JibberJabberJobber is going for the same build order though. Getting his Osttrooper now. In versus Loveness he made 3 Osttrooper, followed up by 2 Grenadiers. And Quiritz also opening with his standard in terms of the 2 conscripts, of 2 engineers into 3 conscripts. He's bringing guard with coordination tactics, very popular commander right now. Defensive tactics, which he used in the semi-final, and he has Soviet combined arms army. Oh, that's interesting. This might be the only Soviet commander that doesn't have the word tactics in his name. I always thought all Soviet commanders had tactics. Just like all Austria commanders have doctrine. So support doctrine, Osttrooper doctrine, Blitzkrieg doctrine, lightning war doctrine. First engagement here though. JibberJabberJobber, good positioning with his Osttrooper, manages to trade positively versus those cons. Immediately makes sure he has some cover to help versus the conscript squad over there. But this cover is not wide enough to place all models inside the cover, so I think these conscripts will do quite a bit of damage here. Meantime, Quiritz hasn't gotten any fuel control yet. He's trying to get it now, hiding from the Osttrooper, but they can move forward very soon. And he is decapping JibberJabberJobber on this side. And as predicted, here is that Grenadier. Grenadier, of course, combat-wise better than the Osttrooper. Can also get the LMG upgrade earlier and have access to a rifle grenade. But they're a lot more expensive to reinforce. And this one is getting low. Getting focused fire there. Meanwhile, we got an engagement here on the left hand side of the map. Ooh! Not paying attention here for Quiritz. Loses his engineer. That's an annoying loss. Not the end of the world, but very annoying. He queued up a new one, but decides against it. Instead, he's going for the medics first. That's a big win for JibberJabberJobber. You just quickly look at the units lost. It is quite even. But it's both sides, it's conscripts models versus Osttrooper models. Both very cheap to reinforce. Osttrooper being even cheaper than conscript models, and the fact that Quiritz lost that engineer makes me believe he's a little bit behind now. Nice play from Jibber, using his low health squads here to keep on the field, keep capturing the map.
Pioneers are now able to construct anti-tank barriers.
But it's already getting 2 mines down. And JibberJabberJobber is going for his tier 2 structure. We saw him use 2 222s versus Loveness. Not that successful though, because of the guard squad and the Siskin that were out in the field. Soviets can easily field the soft AT. That basically goes for all allied factions. No, not all. Brits can't do it that easily. The Brits have the AEC though. which is a nice anti-vehicle light vehicle. Anti-vehicle light vehicle. Yeah. A little bit of a low in the fighting here. One long range engagement going on, for the rest not much. So we're getting that first 2-2 out. Quiritz in the meantime, floating a bit. Positive to believe we'll see some guards. Or maybe defensive tactics with a Dushka and the M42 45mm. Also an option. JibberJabberJobber has the sweeper, so he will spot these mines.
We have a new scout car.
Always nice. Double fuel here for Quiritz. Not for long though, it's gonna get pushed off. And all these units of JibberJabberJobber can build stuff, of course. Having access to the defensive fortifications. They can make sandbags, wire, you name it. They'll do it. We see a commander pick for Quiritz. It's going to be that guard motor coordination tactics. We clicked on it, but hasn't deployed any units yet. He's going for tier 3 first. Maybe wants to get the T-70 out. So Jibber will start retreating the low Hoogtepunt squad to the green cover so we can capture the fuel. In the meantime, has that triple cab established as well. VP is taking down fast. Already over 100 have been lost.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector. Okay, that's the last one. Complete.
So we're gonna have two 2-2s versus the T-70 here.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
There's no access to a T-nade, so with proper micro, the 2-2s should be able to win that. Especially if he can get a Faust off.
A sector has been cut off.
I think Quiritz really needs to get guard squad out as well, but he's at the moment losing so much map control. Look at the income here on the side of JibberJabberJobber, plus 63 munitions, and plus 39 fuel. Even starts to use the trenches. But they can also be used against him. Oh, preemptive rifle nade, getting spotted. Late reaction time there. Peter's going for the second engineer first, afraid of a teller. I don't think there has been... oh, there is a teller. Ah, good choice by him. There's actually 2 teller mines. And still just has that 1 point on the control. And he's getting a pack gun out as well. And this is a little bit spiraling. So here comes the bait. Oh, needs to be careful. I mean, if the T-70 accidentally hits the teller when the 2-2 is on top, it will die. It will blow up. Finally, Quiritz is finding a bit of map here. Needs to get 1 VP on his control though. They're ticking down so fast. Only 300 VPs remaining. And he's moving closer. He's moving closer. Danger, danger.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
This version of Fame and Feel not being in the map pool. This is a version created for the Master League, which sees a couple changes. Heavy cover here and the side blockers are gone. There have been added side blockers to the sides of this center building. Some extra green has been created at places. Those are the most obvious changes. Oh, spots the teller and destroys it. Probably spot this one now as well. Oh, they're too far away. Oh, this is a micro battle. T70 is missing everything. No follow up though. Oh, it gets the kill. Oh, Flamer Engineer going down in the meantime here in the center. And I think this T70 might be in trouble. Where's the 222? 222 is trying to get over there. Another Faust going in. Doesn't need to do that much damage to kill it. Guard squad available as well. But it's not anywhere near to defend. They have 18-8s, but they're not at the right spot. Can he get the kill here? He is going for it. I think there is a way to get out. Oh no, he's actually trying to retreat. I think that will cost him his 2-2. I think he had a higher chance of just getting around to rear armor, but you have the machine gun emplacement as well that does damage. JibberJabberJobber risked it for the biscuit and he didn't get the reward. Which is a nice way for Quiritz to get back into the game. But he's still behind. Jibber now getting both a mortar and another 2-2, so he's even spending 30 fuel to get a 2-2 out. I think that's a mistake. I think he should have just tacked up at this stage. You have that extra 30 fuel as well. You're already halfway through a P4.
Scout car has arrived.
I think he just value used the 2-2 at this point a little too much. I think it would have been wiser to tack up. He could have also just tacked up and spammed some Stuggies. Still triple cap. Back in a nice position. Can they get 2 shots? No. Only manages to find 1 shot. Oh, it's devastating it from the mortar team. First shot, 1 kill, and immediately half bar frequency. And with the Flamer Engineer dying, JibberJabberJobber doesn't have to fear using the trench at all. Counter mortar is out, the 120mm. This thing really packs an explosive shell. Oh, and direct hit as well. Needs to run. Another hit might cost it. Oh. It's gonna hurt him now. Doesn't take that final shot, fortunately. Keeps it alive. And it's a good opening volley. Up to 120mm. And it's so accurate as well on that barrage ability. Oh, a little bit of a dance. Made another teller, which is once again being swept. Go needs to run. Those are clumped. T70 is very good versus clumped models. So guns could want to retreat here. They don't get the body block off. They're still chasing though. They will most likely get away. Yeah.
Sector.
And still triple cap. I think Quiritz is just not reading the game here. Really needs to focus on the VPs. I don't think the fuel matters at this point. You're not going to get a vehicle out anytime soon. We need to buy time, not fuel or munitions. The only thing he needs is time at this point. He's finally getting 1 VP under control, but that will not stop the bleed. Should just play VPs, get AT guns, and hope his opponent makes a couple mistakes. Finally, he decides to go for it. Doesn't finish the capture on the fuel. That's what he should have done a little sooner. I mean, it cost him another 20 VPs. T70 doing some good work though, especially with that fight versus the 2-2. Already on Vet 2, getting that increased main gun accuracy and rate of fire. Molotov being thrown. There's good control of the right hand side now, but at the same time he's losing the left. Oh, rifle grenade on a spot where no models were standing. Maybe it was aimed to be at the retreat path. In that case, it was a good aim, but either Quiritz noticed it was coming and decided not to retreat yet, or he was just too slow and got lucky. And there comes the P4. I mean, this could have been out like 2 minutes ago, I feel. Which, yes, it's a shame it didn't.
The enemy is firing on our HQ.
Oh, mortar barrage in the base. This building doesn't have that much health anymore. Needs to be careful.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
A good hit from the mortar once again. It's good on that Vet 1, and Vet 1 gets that counter fire ability, counter barrage ability. Panzer IV on the right hand side. No magic shots, the first 2 volleys. They're on 20 minutes, trying to zone both support weapons backwards. Oh, that's interesting news. Smoke to try and capture, but Quiritz notice it, moves in time. Both mortars barraging their own squads. It's not the friendly fire you're looking for. He did manage to get the right hand side once again. He's probably going to keep the Hoogtepunt squad there. And here comes the P4. Did the P4 just got friendly model kill? He might have gotten a friendly model kill. Center being decapped and Quiritz rushing over to the left hand side VP. Desperately wants to get something under control. Feels like he's out of time. Back in a position but misses the shot. And 2-2 doesn't have the damage out to prevent this capture. Already up to 10 kills. This is the third 2-2, mind you. And still the VP drain is on. Not able to prevent the capture there. Hoogtepunt ready to capture it again. P4 in the center trying to deny that. Oh, the Hoogtepunt not capturing?
We have hammered the enemy down to 50 points.
Jibber playing carefully here. I think he could have finished it. Quiritz is close to a tank, has a stack structure out, needs 30 more manpower. Question is, can he hold on for that long? Oh, Siskin barrage, devastating hit. Grenade as well, almost takes out the Hoogtepunt. Where's the P4? Oh, 2-2. Out of control as well. Looks like JibberJabberJobber's micro is being taxed at the moment.
The enemy is taking our territory.
He's losing a couple engagements here. No dodge on the flames here. Does stay in the capture zone, preventing that decap. And he is in the center now again. So still has 2 VPs under control, and as long as he has 2 VPs under control, Quiritz is losing. And he's losing fast. Gets a kill on the left hand side as well. And looks like Quiritz has given up. Steals a Ziskin there. Has a squad at each side to prevent the capture, so it's a pretty much a GG situation. So he needs to capture one and decap another. Oh, direct mortar hit, followed up by the rifle nade. No engineers are left. 12 VPs.
The enemy can taste defeat. They only have 10
Painful
points
game
remaining.
there for Quiritz. Nicely done by JibberJabberJobber. Quiritz of course losing in his first couple engagement. Losing the engineer, set him back. And that is game number 1. Alrighty, let's get into the action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 2 of this series. In the northern side, we got the victorious Dutchman of game number 1 spawning as the United States faction. It's the JibberJabberJobber. And it looks like he is sticking to his strategies. Going once again for the rifle company. Also used the tactic versus Loveness without success, but he's hoping it does bring him success versus our player in the south, which is Quiritz. Quiritz also coming out with a pretty standard austere build. Again, he also used austere in his semi-final, but got beaten by the Soviets of, who was it again? Nogaro. Yeah. A little bit of wire to prevent the entrance to the center house. Meet both the building squads of the factions meet. But here comes the MG and the Grenadier. Oh, does sneakily get the capture. Ever delaying Quiritz advance to fuel. In the meantime, JibberJabberJobber is going to the right hand side of the map. So they're gonna split it a bit. I think Quiritz will have a little bit better control early on, since he was just a little bit more aggressive with the captures. Let's talk a little bit about the commander choice on JibberJabberJobber. Not a commander you see very often. The rifle company, because gives him access to field sandbags with the rifleman, and also give him access to the, I think it's the M3 anti-tank mine, if I'm not mistaken about the name. It's either M3 or M6. One of the two at least. So anti-tank mine, which also get detonated by infantry. So we don't see Jibber very often opting to go for fast bars and zooks, but instead relies on a lot of mines to do damage. This also forces your opponent to use a sweeper, which doesn't mean that Quiritz cannot opt to go for the flamethrower. If he does so, he will lose a lot of manpower to the mines. While in the meantime, Yeah, echelons in this doctrine have access to flamethrowers.
We are losing a sector.
And Riflemen get access to flares, thanks to the advanced infantry equipment. The score is 1-0 for JibberJabberJobber.
That's it. Fully reinforced. Do not stop. Contact. Infantry.
We've got the white phosphor smoke barrage in this command as well as the Easy 8 and the M3 half-track. I don't think I've seen an M3 half-track being built in any competitive game.
Our headquarters has been improved. We can now
A little
build
bit of
light
a
mechanized
low
infantry.
the fighting. They're just being happy here, having a center, and JibberJabberJobber was happy having the right. There we see a cutoff play. Yep, we see a play for the cutoff. Control of the center for Quiritz, so this will indeed cut off. If on this map you hold the center point and point afterwards, then you still have connection. But right now it's a hard cutoff. This also gives a signal to the rest of JibberJabber troops to move in to the left hand side to counter this maneuver.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Ambulance first, interesting choice. Usually we see a quick M20, which will be the follow-up. Ambulance into M20. Both players just barely fighting. Look at their command power. We look at models lost, it's 2 versus 5. And we're already going for 5 minutes. Which is rather silly, to be honest. It is rather silly.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. Our lines of supply are
But a
disrupted.
2-2 coming up as well. And look at the manpower, how much manpower each player has here. It's kind of ridiculous. And you can immediately queue a pack. And so I think this not fighting favors Quiritz a little bit. So you can get the Grenadiers. He already doesn't need the healing bunker yet. Can get LMGs. Already has 1 LMG out. Can quickly go up to the AT gun.
Camouflage can now be used to ambush the enemy.
Yeah, as you can see, immediate AT gun as well. Oh, snare? No snare. Oh, no munitions for the snare. What happened to the munitions?
We are losing a sector. New anti-tank gun has arrived.
Did any mines get placed? Maybe some mines got placed. I can't see them. We got the sweeper, which is 30, and we have the bazooka, which is 50. I would presume we would have more munitions. Oh, Quiritz opting for his commander here. Into the infantry doctrine, very popular nowadays. Has access to the ambush camouflage, very useful on MGs. And once he hits CP2, you can get the Jaeger command squad out. Very often gets one squad with G43s as well. Just to have a little something. Another mine. M5 mines, so not M3 or M6, but M5. NTS M7 light anti-vehicle mines. So do a little bit of damage, but also stun. A lot of fighting in the north.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
There's not much going on, but I think JibberJabberJobber has had more map control. Even though he was cut off for a little bit. Let's see, points health. He has been slightly ahead the entire time and now taking a bigger lead for the past 2 minutes. 50 cal is out, and mortar coming up now as well. USF mortar is probably the least used mortar in the game. It has a decent amount of damage but very short range. So not a lot of people like it. Oh, the T-gun hits, then 20. No. 20 manages to get out of there. But JibberJabberJobber is very good at using a mortar aggressively, moving it up the field. to make sure that he gets that
Enemy has
maximum amount of
broken our
damage in.
supply lines.
And there is the Jaeger Light Squad. Currently, boys in the base waiting for some healing.
The bunker is now a field hospital.
What about the JibberJabberJobber will also go for the Steward this game? It doesn't seem to be so. He's going for double mortar, no? Oh, no. Sides against it, goes for Steward. Might have been a misclick. What is this, R? Is this also R? Or was he seriously thinking about the double mortar? Oh, nice usage of the bazooka to get rid of the wire, so we can use his sandbag again.
Enemy forces
Will it
are
be
securing
in
our
green in time?
territory.
He will be in green in time. MG42 not getting the suppression off. And after 2 bursts, loses the ambush camouflage bonus. Quick smoke will deny any further damage. We see more camouflage coming up.
Mortar crew has arrived.
Of course, the ambush training not only gives them access to camouflage upgrade, but also gives them access to sprint, making them speedy boys for a couple seconds at the cost of 10 munitions. Nice mines here, good positions, often where the 222 gets stuck a little bit. Naturally, due to the fact that it has to turn, it will now get stuck even more. Oh. This Steward is short-lived. Big mistake here. Steward goes down. Sloppy mistake. Did we also lose a rifleman? I think a rifleman also went down. Also a rifleman went down. Didn't catch where that was. 2 units all of a sudden dying for JibberJabberJobber here. It's not good at all. Counter mortar. Quiritz will always go for a mortar. And it's a pretty good mortar usage. Often puts it here.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Jibber desperately wanted to get the kill on the 222, but fails to do so. No, M20 only 3 kills, not being that effective. Oh, there's the pack gun already, ready to fire a bullet, and it connects up to that one. Wonder what the next choice is going to be. Another 50 cal. I don't know whether I'm a fan of that choice.
MG42 team is ready for action.
That Granatwerfer team is going to do a lot of damage, I think. So, see both captain coming up now as well. Could use that extra infantry squad. And another 50 cal will give him access to an AT gun. He only has soft AT at the moment to deal with the 222. Oh, also almost loses the M20 there. The Jaeger Light just sniped the model of the repairing crew. He lost it in the north somewhere. And Quiritz is had a rough start, but he's now slowly getting into a dominating position. He needs to translate it to a bit more map control. He's surely getting it.
Manufacturing capability has been
Mortar being
increased.
pummeled. Almost loses it.
We are losing a sector.
JibberJabberJobber is using smoke of his mortar to get into a position where he otherwise would be hit by the MG. But this MG will hit once the smoke fades. Rifle nade's coming in as well. Mortar hit. And now the MG fires. M20 goes down on the left hand side. To the pack gun, probably with a Faust.
opponents are
50
seizing
cal
the
forced
sector.
away. Jibber is bleeding all over the place. 16 kills versus 42 lost. Probably also a couple mines and of course the vehicle crews calculated in there. And TF3 is already down. Good timing here by Quiritz. 1 to 2 minutes of fuel and he will get that P4 rolling. Well, JibberJabberJobber needs to find the manpower to get the M1 AT gun out. And Mortar Squad not doing much. 0 kills, not even that one in damage. I'm not feeling that it's any good.
We can now deploy a smoke screen to blind the enemy.
I mean, even the lieutenant is not even vet 1 yet. No veterancy on any of his squads. Just to show how hard the past couple minutes have been for JibberJabberJobber. In the meantime, Quiritz is getting vetted infantry, vet 2. Someone is halfway there, MG is already vetted, the pack gun is vetted, the mortar is getting good use. Oh, an insult to injury. I like this choice a lot. Instead of going for the P4, he decides, oh, I'm first gonna get a sniper and just keep the bleed up. And due to the asymmetrical faction design of Code 2, USF doesn't have access to a sniper. Neither does OKW. Both factions do have access to camouflage units, but because of JibberJabber's commander pick, he doesn't. And without any of those, light vehicles on the field, there's basically nothing that can counter the sniper.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And the map is red. It's pretty deep red. And I don't know if JibberJabberJobber can come back from this. It looks like we might have to say Axis OP in this series. Both players are very struggling with their allied factions. Nate does a decent amount of damage. MG moves forward as well, 2 to 2, ruling the center. Making sure to cover the sniper here. Sniper moving backwards. Both factions having access to the fire up, or to a sprint. This one costs 15 for 10 seconds. Well, this one costs 10 for 5 seconds. So JibberJabberJobber has units that can run a little bit longer and faster. But it also costs more. Okay, finally he manages to stem the bleed. Almost came down to equal VPs. Even the mortar has gotten a couple kills. I mean, eventually it will hit something. And this mortar is almost vet too, so it gets a increased rate of fire. LAB coming down. A little bit of a whiff. JibberJabberJobber was hunting for the sniper. Doesn't get it. Quiritz is just all over the place. Sniping the 50 cal here. Each burst doesn't seem to get the suppression. Decrease it.
We lost a gun crew.
LMG 42 is really good versus 50 cals, especially if they can get that cycle going. Doesn't get the cycle going on the MG, so that one gets out. trying to use the pack to kill it. But JibberJabberJobber isn't time to pick it up. He even went... Oh no, he made a mistake. He already built this, he made 2. It's not like he tacked up, so it's not like he went for the tier 3. And this thing is not free as well. That is interesting. Maybe he wants to build 2 tanks at once? That's actually something I haven't seen in this game. Someone building 2 tanks at once. Would be an absolute chat maneuver though. Major is out for JibberJabberJobber. He often favors to get the easy 8 out, although I'm not a big fan of that tank. So it will take him a lot of manpower, and that's manpower he doesn't have. He needs to reinforce a lot of squads. I mean, the sniper is bleeding him dry. 8 kills now. Not to mention that these grenadiers are killing. Some barrage coming in, probably from the major. And there comes the P4. P4 2-2. There's 1 Zook and 1 AT gun to counter that. Up inside. Changing control once again. Triple cap is coming up actually for Quiritz. Has this M1 actually... It took 1 shot. I have no idea where it's going at the moment. Maybe he wants to use it in the north. Try to capture the center with some smoke, but for that to be very effective you need to throw the smoke beyond the point, not on the point, because you do it on the point, both teams can get into that smoke. The defensive player then can obviously prevent the decap. Major called in a barrage on the MG42, taking it out. Can probably try to destroy it. He did try to destroy it, but the Zook missed. Another Zook missed. I wouldn't even try to recapture that, I would just get another tank out. So let's see what he's gonna do. Is he gonna recapture it? Is he just gonna go and try and finish the game off? Average Zook experience. I did recapture it. And second P4?
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
This P4 is already out for 3-4 minutes? Just gotten its first kill. That's a poor performance. He doesn't have to worry about it though, because there's plenty of other units that can do the carrying. And Jibber just keeps using that smoke to try and prevent that center from going down. P4 got a magic drop though, takes 3 models there. And here comes the decap. Still a lot of VPs remaining. Not like last game. Oh, M1 under fire. Luckily doesn't lose any of the carrying models. But the M1 being down gives Quiritz a lot of free room to use his P4. Oh, and there's the MG once again. MG grants. Take it out. This is the time to move forward. To go and kill it. Quiritz is probably expecting a tank to come out, so little does he know that Jibber does not have any manpower for tanks. Not units he will build anytime soon. Will he go in for the kill right now? He is going to go in for the kill. But this will be game. There's no stopping these tanks. Is there anything Jibber can do? He's just getting bullied, snipers shooting, tanks are firing, MG grants left and right. JibberJabberJobber not getting anything out of his light vehicles this game. That really cost him. After this it's 1-1. Which it will soon will be, I imagine. It looks like Jibber wants to keep playing. Get the tank out. Yeah, he's making an easy 8. I mean, by the time it's out, Quiritz will have another P4 coming. I mean, doesn't have pop cap for it. Otherwise he would. But it's a little silly. I mean, I admire the fighting spirit, but... I mean, you should not confuse bravery with foolishness. There's the tank. He used the supervised to make it come out fast. See the attack round? Oh, attack round missed. This is a harder lockdown and COVID has caused. Can this USF player come out of his base?
Well done. We have forced
He's getting good penetrations.
200 points.
This is actually fat pretty. I don't know where I'd got all that frequency from. And one beeline towards the VP.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Yeah, this needs to be quite a couple of attack rounds. First has to go through this hatch. And he has to go through there. Oh. Enemy mortar got one-shotted by the P4. I think Quiritz is being really passive right now. Oh, that's his play style, but... We like finish this game?
It's done.
One final reinforce to try and march out. Here comes the push. Got a phosphor coming in as well. Stationary P4 can really hit stuff. Mortar getting counter barraged. There's units waiting at every corner. Here comes the P4 AT gun. P4s are just killing all the infantry they can. But the rifleman bites the dust. Stun shot going in. Anti-tank strafe coming as well. Tank strafe will miss, but the rest will finish it off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is 1-1. Which means we're gonna have to wait for the ace game. I haven't paid attention to the VP situation that much. I think Jibber might have more VPs, but I'm not certain. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a long break here, we can finally start with game number 3. It's 1-1. Both players have 1 as the axis. I think JibberJabberJobber had slight VP lead, and I think he chose axis as his preferred faction. And it looks like Quiritz is immediately going with a counter build. Figured out JibberJabberJobber will most likely do the same as he did in the previous game, which he is doing. And Quiritz is opting for airborne troop tactics. To counter this, airborne troop tactics, of course, have the weapon crate drop, which will give SVTs to conscript squads and pepechars to penals. Well, Quiritz is making conscripts, so we'll probably see that SVT conscript army. Of course, also access to the Dushka HMG airborne guards troop, who can be upgraded with pepechars or DP28 LMGs. And of course the IL-2 anti-tank rocket run, which has been a pain for a lot of people until it got nerfed. Got a little bit more expensive and I think a little slower as well, together with the fact that the RAM of the T-34 got nerfed. Well, first engagement here at the fuel in the north. It's a better engagement because the JibberJabberJobber having that green cover. Looks like Quiritz just wants to make sure he captures that before he leaves. Engineers in the meantime, nice sandbag and wires on the southern fuel. Quiritz prioritizing the munitions here. Of course, needs that to be able to drop all this stuff. 60 munitions for the SVT, 50 munitions and manpower for the Dushka. So for pretty equal openings. Both players getting their respective sides under control. Engineer are gonna play hide and seek here in the south.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Quickly taking a peek and then moving away again. Very nice.
I am getting tired of this shit. The hard part will be keeping it.
Oh, JibberJabberJobber is moving out here, out of cover. Ostrupen of course need that cover bonus to win fights. He's gonna take it right here. And only has one of the 2 squads in there. This is not the ideal engagement. He has a grenadier.
Enemy forces are securing
It's actually not going too bad. Both have one squad being forced away, but I think the trades are in favor of Quiritz here. Second grenadier though is coming up. Heavy infantry build, heavy tier 1. Of course not that MG, which you might see. This is a lot more action-packed than game 2. This is immediately a lot more fun. I think we got about 10 kills in total in the first 6 minutes of game 2. Right now we're already above 20. Huge amount of fighting, almost both players to 2 CP. It's also what Quiritz wants. He wants to get his weapons out.
Production upgrade accomplished. Pioneers can now place tank traps.
There's a little S-mine patch. Immediately sweeper coming up. Probably gonna see tier 2 soon. I think Jibber lost a little bit more of models. Or the more expensive models. Maybe that's why he has more CPs. Interesting. Or maybe he... what did he get CP from this? I'm not certain. He has a little bit more CP, but... Quiritz now also getting to 2 CP and seeing that plane fly overhead. JibberJabberJobber must know which commander has been chosen. So now he knows that SVTs are coming up. He doesn't know yet whether SVT got dropped or the Dushkat got dropped. You can't tell that in any way. Do you see? Yeah, it's 1-1 Orange Best, yeah. But this game is kicking off. JibberJabberJobber moving towards that yellow cover position that there is at all the points to make sure those Ostruppen do excellent. What about he's going for 2-2-2s once again. Another SVT has been dropped. For the rest, it's a little bit of a float boat. Engineers going back, so maybe Quiritz will tack up now.
Scout car has arrived.
Meantime, single scout car. Is he going for the bunker? He's going for the bunker first. Ooh, nice mine here of Quiritz, taking out 2 grenadier models. Mine is 60 manpower. You would rather hit those with your Rostruppen, not your grenadiers. I think all the mine... No, there's still a mine patch left. No grenade package. Are we going to see an AT gun? Yeah, immediate AT gun pick. Doesn't have guards to rely on for soft AT. Doesn't want to risk it with a T70 again. This time going for that AT gun first, which is probably a wise choice. This Jibber built so hips, I feel like we're getting it scared. Jibber in his pot of power at the moment. Another power spike here with the 2-2-2. Engineer has been out of the map for very long, so we only now have the Siskin, which is out fast, 50% faster, thanks to this anti-tank gun production 1, which definitely aids right now. Like this little trick, if you have all your models on the field still, you can use that field first aid to get yourself healing. Does it outside of his opponent's base, but well, now we're a very solid unit out there. And map control wise, Jibber taking control. No tier 3 coming down. No manpower for it. Drop more SVTs. Prioritizing SVTs over Dushka. I think he needs could use that Dushka though. Needs a little bit of more anti-infantry power. Although don't underestimate the SVT cons. One bonus that Quiritz has is that Jibber does not go for an MG42, so these cons can move about freely without having to worry about suppression. Jibber going for the mortar squad. Has opted to build mortars in every game so far. With varying success. In the Austria game went quite a bit better than in the USF game. USF mortar didn't really do anything for the first 10 minutes.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Slowly but surely, Quiritz getting back on the map here. But got a couple units in the base, a couple units chilling in the north actually, not doing much.
Losing a sector.
But keeping that map control. Quiritz immediately going for the counter mortar. You get a mortar, I get a mortar. Name of the game. How Quiritz plays this.
Enemy is taking
I
our
was a
territory.
big fan of the mortar. While Quiritz will often just counter-fire opponent's mortar, Jibber is often inclined to use the mortar a little bit more to drop down smoke, so that his army can push. With a cut-off maneuver, but it's getting intercepted. No grenade text. Oh wait, there is a grenade text, so actually Molotov might be a good choice here. Maybe he's just going for the decap and run. Jibber's going to prevent it though. There's more conscripts coming up. No decap. Must be annoying. Good maneuver there from Jibber. Keeping that fuel under control. We placed them behind cover, which is somewhat safe, but also very clumped up. So it's safe versus infantry, but if this guy gets a good shot in, it'll be devastating. Talking about good shot, nice volley here on the building. But it's also very good at moving and pushing his mortar away every time. When he takes a shot, he will decide to move it backwards once again. Go ahead and take a shot somewhere else. Just go and lining up.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Like, this is quite a weird choice. Opt to build a Maxim instead of dropping a Dushka. Not a big fan of that decision. We'll have SVTs on all squads now. But I think the Dushka is just that much better. Siskin once again not connecting. A little unlucky there on the RNG department. Quiritz.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Oh, nice counter barrage. Takes out a model, but now it's very low. Setting up again. Might turn out to be dangerous. It's moving once again. It's gonna go back to base. What you might opt to do on this map is make a tech structure here, so you can reinforce from outside. Just gonna miss once more. And there's the P4. And this is what Jibber gets with his map control and only going from 1 to 2. A very quick P4, ladies and gentlemen. 12 minutes, 25. Tier 3 going down, no tier 4 up yet, only 1 AT gun. We do have snares, but this P4 should be able to do a lot of work. See LMGs on all squads as well. And Jibber is in a dominating lead at the moment. SU-76 coming up. Quiritz is really feeling it, really scared of tanks here. Finally, first shot that connects.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Any mines? No mines. And I think this is quite the rare sight. JibberJabberJobber going Or the MG42 here. Very interesting. But I think it's a very good choice to lock down the sensor. Especially with all these mobile infantry squads being on the field. The nades getting traded. I think JibberJabberJobber will take a favorable engagement here. Another grenade though. Might turn the tide. A little backpedal, and there comes the P4. Indeed, it's the P4 SC-76 rallying over.
We are losing a sector.
Tries to take a shot. I don't know if JibberJabber sees that, what took the shot, or whether he only heard the shot.
We now have access to Pack 43 anti-tank guns.
In range. Boom, and SC-76 gets a nice penetrating shot. I can do very well in terms of penetrating versus Axis mediums, especially this P4 at all sprint. But you've got to remember that it's a little bit of a paperweight. Nah, Quiritz is just very far behind. He doesn't know what else to do. Orange best. Also, both players shooting at mortars with each other. 2 kills in that mortar, 4 kills in the German mortar. Oh, SU going for a barrage. Might be a good time for JibberJabberJobber to go forward. I would have loved a bit of aggression to get a Faust in. Yeah, the P4 going away once again. Jibber was playing defensively. Still in the lead, but I think he could have gotten more out of his lead. Making an Tegan instead of another tank.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Meanwhile, Quiritz hasn't even been able to tack up yet. So he's still stuck on the tier 3 Soviets. It's not where you want to be. It's not the spot you want to have. I heard that we killed them, but I don't think anything died. Maybe a mortar got killed.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Or maybe a mine got killed, is what I'm supposed to say. Oh. And now they did kill. Conscript going down. Another conscript needs to run hard. RMG run on the retreat there. Oh, SU-76 was Fausted as well. Jibber is doing damage all over the place. Quiritz holding on by a threat, losing stuff. So might be going for a little bit of a dive here. No, decides against it. Would have risked it for the biscuit. He might have been able to kill 2 squads. He needed a bit of luck for that though. So I understand that he wants to keep the 2-2 alive. Hoogtepunt went down somewhere.
Supply sector under attack.
Can we get another Faust? No, not close enough for the Faust. Jibber not building anything? Yeah, no, P4 coming up. Second P4 has an ET gun as well. Quiritz has enough fuel in the bank, needs manpower. I think it would have been good from Jibber if he would have focused the VPs a little more. I think the 360 mark could have been already at the 250, 260 mark. If he just would have been a little more aggressive on the VPs. I think that's what a player like Nogano or Lovenest are better at, keeping that VP pressure up. T-34-76, finally a medium tank for Quiritz coming up. Light assault gun also only Got 2 shots in. I really want this thing to get veterancy so it gets that improved rate of fire. Especially a Vet 3, it's not something to think lightly of. Can do a lot of damage real fast, especially versus Vet 0 P4s. Once they hit Vet 2, of course, what they armored skirts, it's a different story. Quiritz is just preparing everything for an offensive, while Jibber is preparing everything for a defensive. Has triple cap established. Bunch of mines. I think on Nexus having a mine here or here is so necessary, because very often people try to use that tanks and move it in.
Enemy is taking our territory.
Even going for the MG bunker. Airstrike coming in, that's kind of futile.
Forward structure under attack.
So it doesn't really do any damage, does it now? And the 222 can easily dodge. Oh, engine damage on the P4. SU-76 trying to connect, misses. I don't think there's any vision anymore. Conscript in trouble, almost went down. Conscript over here went down.
We have lost a Granatwerfer squad.
T-34 kills the Granatwerfer somewhere. Oh, double barrage on the Packen. P4 flanks though, kills the SU-76. T-34 now hunting. Siskin takes aim. Oh, nice connection there from the P4 on the side. T-34 going down here, surely. And gets it. Hacks him. Needs one more burst. Also drops. There's very little left for Quiritz now. He tried to make a play. But lost a lot in the progress. Of Jibber to, at a moment like this, just be a little bit faster.
A mortar team has been killed.
Direct hits from the 82mm squad. Doing a lot of damage. Oh, Quiritz has already dropped out of the game. That's why he didn't do anything anymore. And that explains. Well, GG.